Archaeological Paths Company is happy to share with you our June 2015 Turkey Tour testimonials. See our guests' excitement and join us in our next Turkey adventure.
Well, my husband and I have been to Istanbul twice before, and this last tour of Istanbul was the best we'd ever had. It was the most informative. Everywhere we went, things were explained to us, and we went to more places than we'd ever been. So we didn't even know that some of these places were there. So it's been great. I have to say, seeing the Blue Mosque and Hagia Sophia, we had never even been upstairs. And having our guide explain everything to us so well, it was very, very informative, and we loved that.
Oh, I really liked Istanbul. I was here 50 years ago as a young teacher and student, so it was really nice to go back and to go on a tour where it could show me all the places I didn't really know about 50 years ago. And I could bring my wife too. She's never been to Turkey. And we really liked the buildings, and the people are always fun to talk to because they are all interested in these subjects.
Yesterday we went to Istanbul. We started there and we went through the major sites, history of hundreds of years, ending up in the cistern, which was an amazing surprise. Absolutely didn't know it existed. It was wonderful to see that. This morning we drove down to Troy. We had this lunch on the Dardanelles where Odysseus, Jason and the Argonauts would travel. A wonderful, wonderful program. They really know what they're doing, and we're seeing amazing stuff.
We're driving back in time. First Pergamon, then now Ephesus, on a road to Cappadocia. It's an amazing tour. My first tour I've ever taken. I've worked with archaeologists and anthropologists in the field for a number of years. It was my way of being able to travel to amazing places. I teach photography in Philadelphia in the United States, and I've always wanted to come to Turkey, and I wanted to get a chance to see a lot in a very short time. This was a remarkable way. I highly recommend. It's a great way to see a lot in a short time and actually to understand quite a bit about it.
The program was amazing. And every day has been amazing, and every day it gets better and better. The Bergamo was unbelievable. The feeling of being there was amazing, and the tour guide is great. You guys have a great tour guide, and the way you've organized is fabulous. Now Ephesus, I have no words. All I can say is amazing, and the tour guide is great. He's done as much detail as he can in the short time that we're here, but I absolutely love this place, and I love your tours.
Well, we just started, and so far every place is actually quite special. The weather's been beautiful, so it's a great time of the year, clearly, to be here. It's pretty safe. What's interesting about Pergamon, particularly today, Pergamon and Ephesus, is you can put biblical figures into context. You know, it's not just a fairy story you read. So it's actually quite interesting to put that whole historical thing into context.
Oh, it's a wonderful trip that everyone should take. You know, it has opened up whole new worlds for me, many whole new worlds. And every minute is packed with something better. You know, I've traveled quite a bit. This tour group says it all when they say we're all family. And some of us have troubles and they pick right up. Incredibly well organized. They're thinking about things before we ever even know that they're there. They're a wonderful group, and please y'all come because it's not something to be missed.
You see different climate here when you go to different regions. When we drove from different regions, I was able to see the different landscapes, and they would change within the soil and within the rock with the topography. It was just really beautiful. And, you know, I take a camera everywhere I go, but the best experience is the combination of the group here because it was so well organized. I felt safe. You know, I always travel alone. My husband and I travel alone. This is our first group. So this is a really great experience for me. Both my husband and I have just loved it. So it's been a personal, and in addition to just researching it independently, to write about it, to paint about it, there's nothing to compare. I would do this again.
My focus on the trip was coming to Cappadocia and Darinkuyu, and now here. This is probably the most magic place I can think of on Earth. I have never seen a formation like this before. This is unique in the world. And not only that, but this is the true cradle of what we know of civilization. This is where it began. Everything you know about your culture, everybody on Earth is related to the people who came from here. This is to me one of probably the most holy sites on Earth for the human race. Regardless of your religion, this is where it began. And it's like making a pilgrimage to the beginning of time. So I recommend anybody that put this on your bucket list, you know, the things you want to do before you die, you should come here and see this.
Another person on the tour mentioned, and I agree, it's sacred ground. This is a site that all of us, where all of us come from, really, and sacred ground.
In beautiful Turkey, and it's a wonderful place, and I'm so fortunate to be here. I've traveled around the world, been to over 80 countries, and this is really a special place. These are special people that have put on this tour, and they've done a great job putting the itinerary together. And it's a pretty good pace, but it's not too tiring, and it's just great all around.
Well, the program takes you straight into the culture, which is the important thing, I think, and the people, amazing. Everywhere we've been in this trip, it doesn't really matter where you go. The Turkish people, so cosmopolitan, huge history, fantastic program. The cooperation that we're having from everywhere where we go, the hotels, the coach drivers, everything is just ace.
The people out here are amazing. The atmosphere is amazing. The weather's beautiful. I love learning from other people on the trip. I went to Egypt with Gregory, and you guys do a great job, so I'm back here again a month later.
This is my first time in Turkey, and I always heard about this country. I'd always wanted to go see it. And one thing that's fascinating about this country is the antiquities, all of the ruins, the Greco-Roman ruins. The landscape is just gorgeous up here in Cappadocia, and here we're standing in front of this beautiful monument, and everything is just great.
It's amazing to see these ancient sites. Today we crawled into a cave that people lived in for probably 1,000 years. Unbelievable work. It must have taken over 100 years to carve it. We feel very safe in Turkey. It's safe to go everywhere. The food is delicious. Everything is natural.
It's safer than back home. If you go to the city like Providence in New Bedford, I don't feel unsafe at all, and I didn't 50 years ago either. The people are very friendly and helpful.
Turkey, although it's an Islam country, the people are so friendly and nice, and I feel safe. They're open-minded. They're open to other religions. I mean, the Christians were here before. There's all different types of denomination traveling in our group, and just beautiful and safe place throughout the country. Even in the city, in the country, it's a safe place.
I feel the people are very friendly, very open, very honest.
Yeah.
I like that, and very direct.
Everyone is so nice and kind. It's kind of a very big contrast from, not to be nasty, but from Americans. Everyone is nice. Everything comes from their heart. You know, they're genuine. So it's unlike what I've experienced in other countries.
Archaeological Paths Company specializes in organizing in-depth archaeological adventures.
We were told it was very, very good, and I have to agree, yeah.
You go places other tours don't go.
Yeah.
This trip is quite comprehensive because we went to so many places, we can see so much. So for that part, I'm very glad to join this group.
Just so much archaeology here. It's fantastic. It seems like everywhere you look, you pick up a rock on the ground, and there's just so much history here. And we've done so much, starting in Istanbul with the Blue Mosque. It was phenomenal, and here now, beautiful places. It's very difficult for me to pinpoint which place I love the most. You just can't compare all this beauty.
It's just, you know, besides this spectacular scenery, you have the history. That's what I love about this tour. I just love that.
Yeah, I'm glad we have a chance to do it.
Thorough.
The most interesting feature about your trip is the history, and you cover it quite extensively, which is great. You know, one's not just zoomed in and out. So that's fantastic. Highly recommendable to anybody.
You know, I read a lot about history and I read a lot about the ancient sites, but being here is just, it opens up a new world. You can't read about it, you just got to see it.
Yeah.
We've just been so packed full. It's been a wonderful trip. We've seen so much. I don't think we could have done any more in the time that we have.
And the tour guides have been very, very patient, very nice, and very efficient, which we appreciate very much.
And I knew that we'd only have, a fairly small number of people, like 20, so it was really good because you get to know people and it's not too crowded. And it just, oh, I know. We saw it advertised last fall, so we just said, let's do it. And here we are, and having a great time.
For me, the special thing was Troy. I had spent my life reading the Iliad and the Odyssey, and to have come here and the discussion that goes on, not only with the leader, but with everybody. It's a great group. They put together a wonderful tour.
Oh, the trip's been wonderful. I can't even tell you my favorite part yet. Every day there's something new, or 2 or 3 or 4 things. And the most wonderful part is meeting the people over here. People are wonderful, they're kind, they're so gracious to us, and so many good sights. I think of, right now I'm sitting looking out into off Mount Nemrut into the mountains, and it's a peaceful feeling, and it's just beautiful. I will never forget this, and I've learned so much and done so much and made so many friends. So you guys got to come do this. It's great.
Troy, I liked a lot. Ephesus was very, very good. I liked that most of all, I think.
Yeah, Ephesus is worth to see.
Yeah, a lot of stuff to see, a lot of it to get to experience and to know. Yeah.
I would say Ephesus. It's a huge city with theaters, monuments, statues. You want to go back in time to see what it looked like when people actually lived there. It was amazing.
Oh my goodness, there's been so many. I'm sorry, but there's been so many. What would do you have a place, a favorite place?
So far in the trip?
Yeah.
Well, we haven't done it all yet. But,
I know.
I guess I liked Ephesus the most because I was there 50 years ago and only a tiny portion was open, the amphitheater and part of the rest. And now to see all of that was really nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plus, being with all these people that are interested in all of these things is a big help.
Yeah. I think the quality of the group, just the quality of the group and the quality of the tour itself. I mean, it's organized very well. I'd say, one of the high points for me was Ephesus as well, because my husband and I had been there twice before. Other tours never saw as much, never heard as much. So it's thrilled.
And our guide is superb to know so much about everything and
know.
helping out with little details with Turkish and all of that.
Just the everyday stuff. This is incredible, really.
It's
You guys,
it's much better than going on a regular tourist tour. We do
Oh my
some of
God,
the
yeah.
tourist sites. We get to do all of these extra things that we knew about, which is why we're here.
Yep.
So thank you.
Thank
Yes, doctor.
Doctor. Retired hair professor.
We're standing here in somewhere where 10,000 years ago, someone was here and did this. We don't know the reason, but it's incredible to be feeling that you're at that particular point wondering who they were, what they thought. It's just a wonderful experience, and I'm so glad, I'm so lucky to be here. This culminates the trip. This puts a good cap to the trip. We have traveled back in time, essentially, from the Roman era, the Byzantine, to here. You get a real sense of that history and a sense of traveling back, and you feel as if you're walking in their steps. It will change the way I feel about the history of the world forever, doing this particular trip, and I'm so very grateful.
It was a wonderful trip encompassing 10, 12,000 years of human history, starting in Istanbul, ending up in Gobekli Tepe. It felt like it was the history of the human race. And I enjoyed the hotels, the food, the Turkish people. Absolutely amazing, absolutely amazing. And would recommend anybody, please come to Turkey. It's wonderful, safe, clean, amazing.
It's true what everybody says about the food. I love it. I love the food here. The people are nice. The weather is perfect, and the scenery and the culture and the history are just unbelievable. It's wonderful. It's something you have to do. I recommend it to anybody, and I've been to a lot of places in the world, and this is one on the top of my list. So please, everybody, come and enjoy this.
Interesting to see a place where civilization goes back to about 12,000 years with Gobekli Tepe and with a wide influence of cultures, the Hittites, Jews, Christians, Mongols in certain parts, and the Turks who eventually took over. And the country is safe. I've seen no problems or evidence that there are any problems going on here. So I'd recommend that people come and visit.
Well, it was a remarkable 2 weeks. The whole idea of going back in time from what I consider to be ancient times to a history that I didn't even realize existed, and ended all at Gobekli Tepe yesterday. It was so moving for me. When I got to the site yesterday morning, my heart was pounding so hard I could barely breathe. And then we went to the museum at the end of the day, and in 2 hours we walked what we did in 2 weeks. We walked from Gobekli Tepe back in time all the way up to Hellenistic time, and you could see how there was once something really sophisticated and amazing 12,000 years ago, disappeared. It's a complete mystery, and then it was replaced by a dark age. It took 7,000 years for something as sophisticated to come back, but without any of the abstract thinking of Gobekli Tepe. This was a revelation for me, this trip. The travel was great. The people that ran the tour did a beautiful job. They made us comfortable and made sure that we got a lot to happen in a very short period of time. And it makes me really want to come back to Turkey to learn more. So I thank you very much.
Anyone who is interested in this part of the world, there's so much to see, there's so much to learn. And I think you will have such a great time if you want to come here.
So we're winding down our wonderful excursion of Turkey, and we're glad to have this free time in Urfa to see these wonderful markets and all the spices, the local color. We went to Abraham's Pools, a wonderful sacred site, and we learned that it was originally a pagan temple and then a church before it was a mosque. And we're just really enjoying all the local food. We have a wonderful local guide. and it's been a fabulous trip. I felt safe every second of the trip. A lot of people were worried about tourists going to Turkey, but it's perfectly safe. Nothing to worry about. It's a fabulous trip. Thank you.
Here we are in Urfa, in a beautiful old section of town, and it's such a wonderful trip. I'm sorry this is the last day. The people are friendly, they're accommodating, and of course the Turks are friendly and accommodating too. This is such a lovely bazaar with the food and nice people all around us.
Well, the entire tour was just spectacular to me. I had anticipated certain things being nice, and I was looking forward to some things, but every place we've been has just been awesome and far beyond expectation. And as far as the quality of the tour, it could not be better.
The quality and the service.
The service has been wonderful. All of you people associated with the tour, Suak, you, Thomas, everyone has been wonderful. And if I can take another tour with you, I would do it like that, very quickly.
He's very well spoken. Anyway, I would like to say that in all the tours that we've taken, we've traveled all over, my husband and I, and we've taken a lot of tours. And the combination, again, of the service, the places we have stayed, the hotels, have been very nice. And we've been everything we've needed. You know, we've needed something special. Everybody's just jumped in and helped us. But and the places we've gone and the lectures. The lectures have been wonderful. Even on the bus, we've enjoyed it very much. So that's what I mean. That's the difference between this tour and the other tours.
Yeah, totally different.
The other guys.
This is so much better.
Yeah. So we'll come again.
Thank you. It's a pleasure working with you.
Oh, it's been wonderful for us.
Join our next Turkey adventure right now. Find more information about our tours on our website, www.archaeologicalpaths.com.